At the beginning of the drama, we are shown our male lead, whose name is Jungkook, and at this time he is heading toward a very important mission. In an abandoned building, preparations are being made for the smuggling of an antique Buddha statue, and he has to raid this operation. To stop this smuggling, Jungkook and his partner Jimin reach the location. Jungkook looks like a hero, and his skills and fighting abilities are also amazing. He beats them up badly. During the fight, one smuggler manages to escape with the statue, but Jungkook notices him. He fires at him and then starts chasing his vehicle. At a very high speed, he is riding his heavy bike after them. Meanwhile, he receives a call from his team leader, Oh Soo-A, who orders him to stop immediately. He says this is going to be very dangerous and that a backup team is on the way. But Jungkook is very emotional. He says that if they slip away now, they will never be found. And by the time the backup arrives, it will be too late. Then he does something crazy. He jumps directly onto their car. Now he has entered their moving vehicle and, while fighting them, somehow manages to keep the statue from falling. But in the meantime, the car meets with a terrible accident. When Jimin sees all this, he thinks that maybe Jungkook has also been destroyed in the explosion. But after a short while, Jungkook emerges like a hero, leaving smoke and fire behind. In one hand, he is holding the statue, and on his other shoulder, he is carrying the smuggler. Just seeing this scene makes Jimin say, "Wow, amazing." Jungkook comes to him and says, "Mission complete." Later, back at the office, everyone is praising Jungkook, saying that he did an amazing job today. But when they open the packed statue, they realize that one of its arms is broken. Somehow, during all the chaos, a bullet had hit the statue's arm. They bandage the statue's arm and try to present it to the director. As soon as the director sees it, his blood pressure shoots up. He gets very angry, shouts, and says this is unacceptable and that Jungkook should be fired from the job. Their team leader sits with them, carrying this news. Everyone feels the director has overreacted. Firing Jungkook over such a small mistake feels very wrong. They're all very upset and start drinking. That's when Oh Soo-A tells them that the director has given one last option. A final mission. There is one of Korea's most prestigious private schools, where mostly elite children study. They received information that the school's first chairman had hidden a treasure there during the time of independence. He was actually a traitor, and the treasure is worth 8.8 billion. They suspect that the treasure is buried somewhere inside the high school because they have searched everywhere else. If Jungkook wants to save his job, he must go to this high school and complete the mission, and that too by posing as a high school student. As soon as Jungkook hears this, he refuses and says, "Make me a teacher instead. Am I of the age to become a student?" But everyone tells him that he looks much younger than his actual age, and even if someone asks, he can say that he took the wrong medicine and had a reaction that made him look a bit aged. What could he do? He had to save his job. No one listens to him. Along with this, we are introduced to our female lead, Bong Su. Bong Su is a high school teacher, but her job is not permanent yet. She is only temporary, and she has to keep hovering around the vice principal, pleasing him so that somehow he lets her stay in the job. All the temporary staff had gone out to celebrate the vice principal's birthday, and while trying to keep everyone happy, Bong Su ends up drinking too much. As soon as she gets drunk, everything goes wrong. Everyone had given the vice principal many gifts and made him very happy. While seeing him off, Bong Su messes things up. While trying to stop him, she pulls off his wig and finds out that he is bald, with a shiny spot glowing on his head. Seeing this, all her intoxication disappears. She quietly gets into the cab she had booked, fixes her clothes, and leaves. On the other hand, Jungkook agreed to the operation only because he found out that if he failed, his entire team would be dismantled. The rest of the team leaves, but Jungkook stays behind, drinking in distress. We then learn that the small restaurant he is drinking at actually belongs to Bong Su's mother. Bong Su also arrives there drunk. When she sees Jungkook sitting there, she starts thinking about how handsome he is. Can a man really be this good-looking? At the same time, her mother gets into a fight with some delinquent students who had lied about their age, drank alcohol, and were now refusing to pay. When Bong Su talks to them, they behave rudely and push her multiple times. Jungkook, being a gentleman, cannot tolerate this. He steps in, stops them, and gets into a fight with the high schoolers. He beats them properly, and their condition becomes so bad that while leaving, they pay all the money in full, trembling. During the fight, Jungkook is about to get injured. but Bong Su steps forward and smashes a plate hard on one boy's head. Jungkook is thankful to Bong Su, and Bong Su also feels drawn to him. Somewhere, she likes him at first sight. While leaving, she keeps looking at him, thinking that he is not only handsome but also a gentleman. After seeing the high school and some students, Jungkook starts remembering his own high school days. He was not always this strong. He used to be bullied in high school, even when the bullies troubled him badly. Once his teacher saw it with his own eyes, but never took a stand. Then we are shown the school. The school's name is Byeongmoon High School. Many famous people graduated from here, including politicians and big businessmen. Elite children study there, and the chairwoman of the school is very powerful. Even the Minister of Education often visits to mark attendance. Jungkook is briefed about the school. He will be added as a transfer student, shown as coming from a very distant island, so that no one from any nearby school recognizes him. Some poor children also study there just for show, and Jungkook will be added under the admission of one such poor student. He is also taught many slang terms that youngsters use these days. This mission is going to be very interesting for Jungkook. We also learn that his team leader, Oh Soo-A, is actually his uncle. His uncle tells him to clean the house properly because his aunt is coming. His aunt worries a lot about him, but when she sees the clean house and ready food, she feels relieved. We also see that he has a cousin sister named Anya. His uncle tells him that very soon Anya will also be coming to Jungkook's school. Hearing this, Anya screams and asks what he is doing there. He tells her it is a secret mission, so secret that even she cannot be told. The next day, Jungkook wears his school uniform and reaches the high school. Here, we learn that the school has a student council whose members have more power than teachers. These are actually the top 1% students of the school. Upon arrival, Jungkook comes face to face with the council president, Yana. After that, he meets Bong Su again, who turns out to be his homeroom teacher. She greets him and asks if she has seen him somewhere before. Then she remembers and pulls him by the ear, saying that the other day he was acting like a hero, beating up high schoolers, while he himself was drinking as a high school student. She scolds him, saying he should be ashamed. Jungkook gives her a sharp reply, saying that he saw with his own eyes that she had also hit a high school student that day. He tells her to keep her secret to herself, and he will keep his to himself. They agree not to disturb each other. Then Jungkook enters his classroom. Many important people are in the class, including Yana and Anya. Seeing him in her class, Anya is shocked. She messages him to meet on the rooftop later. There, she yells at him, saying she thought he would come as a teacher, not as a student, and tells him to leave immediately and abandon the mission. But Jungkook does not listen. In the end, she says she will help him but asks him not to reveal her secrets at home. Once, Jungkook is sleeping in class when Bong Su comes to wake him. Because of his self-defense training, he almost attacks her but ends up getting beaten by Bong Su instead. After classes are over, Jungkook realizes that students study less and play more in this school. He starts crying like a first grader, shouting that he wants to go home and cannot stay here anymore. While exploring the school, he notices an old building with a sign saying "Students Not Allowed" and a big lock on it. But he notices that the electricity meter is running and power is being used inside. He wonders what could be behind it. At that moment, he sees his desk mate Dong-min being bullied. Dong-min tries to quietly slip away, but the bullies notice him and call him over, ordering him to start serving them. Jungkook has been ordered by his boss not to mess with students, so he silently follows their orders, running around to bring them food and drinks. Meanwhile, Bong Su is thinking that when she saw him at her mother's restaurant, she never imagined he would be a high school student. She wonders how she could fall for her own student and tells herself to control her feelings. She thought it would be love at first sight, but never imagined he would be in her class. Then we are shown the chairwoman attending the funeral of one of her employees. She promises the employee's wife that the family will be supported, but behind closed doors, she says it is good that he is gone because he was a thorn in her side. Jungkook becomes certain that whatever is wrong is connected to the abandoned building. He hears spooky rumors that a ghost roams there, which is why the building was closed. At night, wearing a mask and cap, Jungkook goes to the building to gather information. Suddenly, someone points a gun at him. He gets scared, but it turns out to be Bong Su, who is on patrol duty, and the gun is fake. He somehow manages to escape. Jungkook is impressed by Bong Su's speed, wondering whether she is human or a machine. While Bong Su is upset that she let the thief escape. She thinks if she had caught him, she might have become permanent. She goes home, and we see that Jungkook is also living nearby. They have practically become neighbors. The next day, the bullies give Jungkook a game and tell him to reach the maximum level within 3 days. He gets angry but remembers not to mess with students. He goes to the roof and secretly contacts his teammate Mejin, a computer expert, asking her to level up the game for him. Meanwhile, Anya arrives and Jungkook asks how she became part of the student council. Bong Su's life remains miserable. The vice principal makes her do all the extra work because she is temporary. While listening to ghost stories about the school basement with colleagues, she gets scared and spills her drink right onto the vice principal's face. We then learn that Dong-min has been missing since morning. Jungkook gets worried because he knows the bullies are behind it. He sees the chairwoman's assistant entering the abandoned building's basement. He tries to follow, but is stopped by a guard. On his way back, he hears noises from a trash bin and finds Dong-min tied up inside. He frees him and asks why he never resists. Bong Su arrives and, seeing Dong-min's condition with Jungkook beside him, misunderstands that Jungkook might be the bully. The real culprit, Tae-soo, watches and laughs quietly. Bong Su scolds Jungkook and takes him away. While scolding him, she notices his eyes and remembers the thief who escaped her. Jungkook distracts her and avoids suspicion. Then, it is announced that the chairwoman plans to build an education city worth $800 million, the exact amount of the hidden treasure. Intelligence officials get worried. We see the student council. Anya is treated like a servant to Yana. Tae-soo complains about the new student, Jungkook, saying he wants him expelled. Anya defends her brother, making Tae-soo angry. Yana sides with Anya, but warns her to speak carefully. The chairwoman explains her policy, special treatment for the top 10%, while dividing the remaining 90% so they fight among themselves. The top are masters, the rest are slaves. Jungkook asks Dong-min about the basement horror story. Dong-min explains about a ballet dancer who was bullied, injured, committed suicide, and whose body was buried there. Her ghost now roams the basement. Dong-min says, "Are you scared?" He says no, but in real, his legs are shivering. Even Dong-min shows a video of someone exiting the basement and a locked door. Bullies arrive and humiliate Dong-min, spitting in his food and forcing him to eat it. Dong-min cries and is about to eat it, but Jungkook stops him. This gives Tae-soo the excuse to target Jungkook. Jungkook remembers the warning, don't mess with students. He tries to calm Tae-soo and even apologizes, but Tae-soo wants a fight. He wants to humiliate him, so he steps forward and starts hitting him. And Jungkook is an officer. How could he just keep taking the beating? In self-defense, he lands a powerful punch to Tae-soo's stomach. Immediately after that, he regrets it deeply, thinking, what have I done? What if my cover gets blown? Just then, Bong Su arrives there and scolds both Tae-soo and Jungkook, calling them to the disciplinary office. But Tae-soo is the son of an assemblyman. The vice principal comes and protects him, and in the end, our hero is the only one left to be scolded. Here, Bong Su tells Jungkook that he should be ashamed. He is just transferred and has already gotten into fights. Hearing this, Jungkook becomes emotional too and asks her whether she even cares a little about her students. He asks her if she even knows what is happening to her students. Actually, Jungkook feels that she is just like his old teacher, the one in front of whom Jungkook used to get bullied and who never did anything. This thought pierces Bong Su's heart. His words sting her like thorns. She goes to her mother's restaurant and starts thinking again. What did he just say? I care deeply about my students. I am a good teacher. She pours herself a drink and starts lecturing Jungkook in her mind, scolding him harshly and saying that she feels like crushing him or strangling him. Meanwhile, Jungkook's team is eating when they are not even allowed to eat peacefully. Their director arrives and shows them a video that has gone viral. Someone had again recorded the cafe fight, and because Jungkook fought so well, everyone had become his fan. But the director scolds them badly over this and orders them to call Jungkook back immediately. When Jungkook arrives, the director is practicing golf. Right there, he gives Jungkook a warning, saying this is his last chance. If he gets involved in any school fight again, his entire team will be dismantled. After this, we are shown that old memories start coming back to Jungkook. His father was also an undercover agent. He never told anyone about it, but now Jungkook understands what his father did because he himself is doing the same work. One day, his father got ready for a secret mission, and after that, he never returned. On the other hand, Tae-soo goes to Dong-min's house. Dong-min lives there with his grandmother. Tae-soo takes Dong-min's ID card from his grandmother in Dong-min's name. Actually, Tae-soo needs different ID cards for gambling, and because Dong-min is bullied, Tae-soo takes advantage of him and steals such IDs. Well, Dong-min is out making deliveries when he sees Jungkook trying to enter the old building. Dong-min joins him. Jungkook tells him to go back, but Dong-min does not listen. Both of them go inside, and there they see a man holding a hammer. His face is covered. He attacks them with a hammer and then runs away. While chasing him, Dong-min and Jungkook get separated. Jungkook has a device that can open all kinds of locks. He opens an advanced lock and enters the same room he had seen in the video. After that, he calls his team and tells them that this mission is going to take a little longer. Here, we find out that this is the Chairwoman's secret room, where she has collected all kinds of information, proving that she too is after the same treasure. Jungkook gathers all the evidence. Then, he hears Dong-min screaming. It turns out that Dong-min had opened the basement and found a skeleton lying there. The skeleton's legs were cut off, exactly like the stories about the school. Along with this, we also learn that the chairwoman is not unaware of all this. She has installed secret cameras there. Although they had jammed the CCTV, she sees Jungkook entering through the secret cameras. She thinks the story is about to get interesting. Next, we also learned that Jungkook had conducted all the testing and discovered that the skeleton lying there was actually fake, placed only to scare people. Along with that, he finds more clues that confirm that gold bars must be there because he finds certain markings. Some prints are also found on old keys. Meanwhile, the assistant tells the chairwoman that 2 students had gone there yesterday to check whether the place was really haunted or if it was just ghost stories. She pretends to be unaware and says that students these days are very curious. Meanwhile, here we see that these ghost stories were actually created by the traitor, the first chairman himself. He had realized long ago that through these stories, one could reach the real treasure. The secret lies behind these stories. Next, Jungkook goes to Dong-min and asks him to tell him the second story out of the 4. Meanwhile, Dong-min's grandmother calls Bong Su and says that Dong-min's friend Jungkook took her ID card and asks her to get it back. Actually, Tae-soo had deliberately taken Jungkook's name to trap him, and indeed, Jungkook gets trapped. Then Bong Su drags Jungkook by the ear and asks him why he needs ID cards and what he's doing. Bong Su had arrived just when Jungkook was listening to the second horror story, and he gets so scared that when Bong Su pulls his ear, he feels as if a ghost has grabbed him. Meanwhile, Jungkook finds out who attacked him with the hammer. He discovers that it was none other than the school guard. Jungkook goes to him, scares him, threatens him, and interrogates him just like an officer would. He finds out that the guard was feeding a cat. The cat went inside, and while chasing it, the guard dropped his phone in the basement. That was when Dong-min recorded the video of him leaving the place. Later, the guard went back to retrieve his phone because he was afraid of losing his job. He explains that he took the hammer, then suddenly saw people above and panicked, so he attacked. Jungkook realizes that he is not an important person and knows nothing else. He lets him go, telling him not to tell anyone about him and that he will also keep his secret. He tells him to forget everything that happened. During all this, Jungkook had skipped class and messaged his teacher that he had left the gas stove on at home and was going back. Hearing this, Bong Su laughs a lot, thinking what an amazing excuse he made. After this, in the next scene, we see Jungkook goes to meet his team members. They have set up a cafe near the school, where they sit and discuss everything. Meanwhile, Bong Su is walking around when she reaches a place where she sees Tae-soo bullying Dong-min. Later, she deeply regrets having doubted Jungkook. She thinks that he was right. She wonders whether she really cares about her students. She wants to say something to Tae-soo, but he leaves after telling her that she should remain temporary and not get fired from here. Now we are shown that once Jungkook sees an old lady working on the road and helps her. Yana is also watching him, and somewhere she is impressed by him. Then Jungkook realizes that the old lady is Dong-min's grandmother. She becomes very happy and says that since he helped her with work today, he will get a $2 tip. Dong-min's grandmother is very sweet. After that, next, Jungkook gives Dong-min his phone number and tells him to contact him if he ever has any problem. In the next scene, Jungkook goes to the store near his house. He is picking up a drink when Bong Su also places her hand on the same drink. First, they argue over who'll take it, and then they sit together outside and drink it. She asks him why he did not tell her that it was not him, but Tae-soo who was bullying. He says that Dongmin told him. They start drinking. Here, she watches him while he is eating, and some childhood memories start coming back to her. When she was a child, she had a school friend who could be called her sweetheart without being wrong. He also used to eat in the same way, picking peas out of his food. At the same time, trouble suddenly falls on Dongmin's grandmother. The police arrive and take her away. Illegal activities had been done using her ID card. She panics and calls Jungkook, and Bong Su also goes with him. When they reach the police station, they find out that all of this happened because of Tae-soo because he is involved in online gambling. That is why he needs many ID cards. Jungkook had received $2 from the grandmother for helping her, and out of that, he gives $1 to Bong Su, telling her that she should also become a part of helping the grandmother. When Bong Su sees that $1, she thinks that she must do something. She doesn't find any other idea, so she exposes the entire reality on an online platform, how many students are involved in online gambling. Because of this, the school's name was getting defamed, and the vice principal calls a meeting of all the teachers. She is very scared that suspicion might fall on her. The vice principal asks her, Bong Su, this wasn't your doing, right? She stands up and does extreme overacting, saying, who is that traitor hiding among us? Once I find them, I'll chop off their head and place it on the principal's table. Seeing her overacting, the vice principal is satisfied and leaves. But her friend understands that it can be no one other than Bong Su. Meanwhile, a student council meeting is going on. Here, Anya is coming in like a servant, bringing coffee for them, which they often don't even like. They scold her badly. We also find out that Yana's arrogance keeps increasing because she is the chairwoman's daughter. On the other side, Jungkook starts chasing the second story, which is about a clock. While he is searching, the chairwoman notices him and says, you're the same one who went into the old building earlier, right? Being curious is a good thing, and I encourage such students. If you ever need my help, come to me. After sending him away, she starts thinking about what clue might be hidden behind the clock. Actually, she decided to follow in Jungkook's footsteps. Whatever he explores will bring the chairwoman closer to the treasure, so she deliberately let him roam free. Meanwhile, the case is now opened at the school involving Tae-soo, Dongmin, and his grandmother. Bong Su is present there as Dongmin's guardian. Dongmin says in front of everyone that it was not Tae-soo but Jungkook who bullied him. Actually, Tae-soo had taken him aside, scared him badly, showed his power, and told him that his grandmother would never come out if he didn't give a statement against Jungkook. Dongmin thought that Jungkook would be very angry with him. He says in front of everyone, yes, I'm a coward. Yes, I'm scared. But what else could I have done? Jungkook says nothing and silently walks away. In the next scene, Jungkook is also called for the next day's meeting. He is to appear in front of the board. He is getting ready when Bong Su calls him in the morning and tells him to reach on time, or he'll be expelled. He says he'll be a little late and asks her to handle things. In the meeting, Dongmin again gives a statement against him. Since Jungkook isn't present to clear himself, the vice principal is about to give a decision against him and bang the gavel. But before that, Bong Su distracts them and says that making such a hasty decision is wrong. She makes an excuse and suggests deciding after lunch, saying that very good cutlets are being made in the cafe. At the same time, we see our male lead making a grand entry into the school on a heavy bike. With the roar of the bike, all the students look out of the windows. He has someone wearing a helmet and drags him inside. This is how Jungkook makes a dominant entry. He is an agent, and his team was not going to get expelled over such a small matter, which would fail their mission. That is why he had to prove his innocence. He reaches the gambling den where Tae-soo used to go. Together, they beat up everyone there properly. In the end, their hacker teammate extracts all the evidence and hands it over, and they also bring the head of that illegal den with them. The head admits in front of everyone that Tae-soo used to gamble with him to repay his debts, which he was hiding from his father. Tae-soo used to collect different people's ID cards and give them to him to run illegal activities. He even had CCTV footage showing Tae-soo bringing ID cards. Tae-soo's father tries hard to save him, but with such strong evidence, neither he nor Tae-soo can show their faces anymore. Tae-soo Tae-soo gets angry and punches Jungkook. Jungkook says, "You hit me first," and then punches him even harder and knocks him down. Tae-soo's father steps forward to hit Jungkook, but Bong Su grabs his hand and says, "How dare you raise your hand on my student?" She then throws him down like John Cena. Seeing both of them, it feels like they are made for each other. Jungkook's couple could be Bong Su. Well, after everything is resolved, Dongmin asks Jungkook if he is angry with him and whether they are still friends. Jungkook says, "Of course." Tae-soo's father, the assemblyman, tries to threaten the chairwoman not to expel his son, but she is far more powerful. She shuts him down and reminds him how he reached his position. In the next scene, Jungkook is injured from all the fighting, and Bong Su is applying medicine to him. The garden setting is very romantic. Flower petals fall from the trees and get stuck in Bong Su's hair. Jungkook gently removes the petal from her hair, and at that moment, Bong Su's heart starts pounding. As soon as she starts feeling something, she gets scared and runs away. Well, in the next scene, we see about the second horror story was about the clock, that its eyes watch everyone. Then Dongmin starts telling the third story, which could lead to the treasure. These stories were originally created by the chairman himself. The third story is about two top students. One student always came second no matter how hard she worked. To become first, she pushed the topper from the roof. After that, the topper's soul kept wandering there. After hearing this, Jungkook gets scared again. His teammates arrive because they were listening to the story from the cafe. Everyone tells Dongmin that they know Jungkook because he sometimes works part-time there. Meanwhile, Bong Su is still lost in the moment from the romantic garden when Jungkook removed the petal from her hair. She thinks with teary eyes, "Why is he my student? Why am I feeling like this?" Elsewhere, we see Anya is shopping with Yana like her servant, carrying all her bags. One bag is kept separately, and Yana says it's a gift for Jungkook. Anya gets worried that Yana is interested in Jungkook. It's a danger alert. On the other hand, Bong Su daydreams again, seeing her childhood sweetheart removing a flower petal from her hair, but the dream turns into a horror when the vice principal arrives and scolds her awake. Now she has to do student counseling, which is the last option. Meanwhile, Anya goes to Jungkook and warns him that the student council is watching him and tells him to finish the mission quickly and leave, not to create trouble for her. While helping her paste posters, Jungkook notices a clock identical to the one in the student council room and realizes it must hold a clue. Yana sees them talking and becomes suspicious. When Jungkook tries to enter the room, Yana stops him and says he can only enter if he becomes a member or her friend. She gives him a gift, but he returns it, saying expensive gifts won't make him her friend. If he wants to become a member, what does he need to do? He finds out that Tae-soo's seat is vacant, so he decides to contest for it. He applies through Bong Su and learns he must be in the top 10, collect 100 student signatures, and get the student council president's approval. Getting 100 signatures is very hard. He only gets 3, 1 from Dongmin and 2 from former bullies who apologized and got beaten up. His team teases him for being handsome and viral, but there's still only 3 signatures. They decide to help by collecting votes while he focuses on studies. Only 7 days are left for midterms, and he barely passed before. You will have to come on top 10, but you focus on studies, and we will collect signatures for you. Then he lost in studies. Next, he sees that they organize a concert outside the cafe to attract students, use posters like he's an idol, and even offer free sandwiches for signatures. He dances with everyone and becomes popular. Meanwhile, Anya senses Yana's suspicion and asks Jungkook not to join the student council, threatening to expose him. Well, here exams begin, and everyone studies hard. Jungkook gets motivated seeing others, and Bong Su personally trains him. Meanwhile, the chairwoman realizes there are 2 such clocks and, of course, Jungkook wants to go to the student council because he knows that something is hidden in the office one. Here, Yana returns home to pressure and medication from her mother, who only wants her to be a topper. The medicine worsens her condition, but she is forced to take it. On the other side, Jungkook gets an emergency mission call and fakes illness to leave school for a secret mission. He calls his teacher and says he isn't coming to school because he is ill and acts as if he is sneezing. Then Bong Su calls to take care of him and says she is coming to take care of him because he is a good student. By listening to this, he quickly reaches where the room was. Then, when we know that when he calls his team, he knows that his team isn't cleaning his room yet. When they go to the room, It is empty. It doesn't look like someone lives here. The team rushes to set it up with clothes and items, even stealing from a laundry. Everything becomes a mess. Then he collects all the messy clothes and his partners and stuffs them into the closet. Then we see Bong Su had come for him with soup, and he wanted to say bye to her right there, but she forcefully enters inside. And right there, one of his friends, who is sitting jammed inside like a toy holding a beer, also gets pushed inside as well. Actually, Bong Su needed to use the toilet, and that is why she had come inside. There, thank God, no one was hidden. In the meantime, Jungkook wanted to take the rest of his teammates out from there, but at that moment, Bong Su comes out again. He pushes them back inside, once more. But one poor guy's finger gets caught in the closet door. Bong Su starts gathering the clothes scattered there and says, "You're sick." But he says, "No, you can't open these clothes." Now she starts to leave, but here Bong Su's foot slips and she falls, pulling him down with her. And here the two of them have an accidental kiss. Meanwhile, inside the closet, Oh Soo-A is trying to hold back his sneeze, and here Mi-ju tries to stop his sneeze by kissing him so that he gets so distracted that he ends up falling out of the closet, and just like that, she ends up seeing all the partners inside. She starts asking, "What is all this?" Now, when so many people suddenly come out of that closet, Bong Su completely forgets about their accidental kiss, and along with this, Ho Suk starts acting there, saying, "Surprise, surprise," and also says, "I am a cafe owner, and I am his boss too. He sometimes works part-time for me." Jungkook is very nice. He lives alone, so I came here to give him a surprise. These two are also my employees. And Jimin, the poor guy, after that kiss, looks like he was not even in his senses. But even after all this, Bong Su starts feeling suspicious of them. She says, "He was at home since morning, so what kind of surprise is this?" And as soon as this is said, Jungkook faints there. All those people start making so much noise and overreact so badly, as if his condition has become critical. He's about to die. Immediately, they put him on their shoulders and take him to the hospital, wrapping up the situation. Well, now the next day was their first assessment day. And on this day, Jungkook was quite nervous, but even more nervous than him were his partners. Someone was standing in a church, someone in a temple, and someone was fasting at home, praying for him. And Jimin looks at Mi-ju and says, "What you did that day was my first kiss. You stole my first kiss. You're a thief. You're a criminal. That's why I sentence you to life imprisonment." And she grabs him from the front and slaps him a few times and says, "You are my junior. Stay a junior. You'll punish me for talking like this? I'll skin you alive. I'll get you dismissed right now." And Ho Suk starts thinking, she's playing hard to get. I will win her heart no matter what. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jungkook is shown. He too keeps remembering that same kiss again and again, because of which he keeps getting distracted even during meetings. And our Bong Su is not that dumb either. She had become very suspicious of Jungkook, sitting with her friend. She says, "I suspect that the thief who slipped out of my hands that day was also Jungkook. And on top of that, being just a student, how can he raid a den and bring a thug from there? I also saw a very amazing car outside his house. Being a student, how can he drive?" Thinking all this, she gets very drunk. And being drunk, instead of reaching her own place, today she reaches her neighbor's house, and that house turns out to be none other than Jungkook's. This is also the first time she finds out that they are neighbors. Here, she keeps making noise, shouting, "Mom, open the door." And from inside, he changes his voice on the intercom and tells her, "I am not your mom. Go to your own house." And in the meantime, from behind, her mom also arrives. In all this chaos, Bong Su is acting so cute that Jungkook's heartbeat starts racing. And after that, when her mom is dragging her away while scolding and hitting her, he comes out and looks and realizes that she lives in the house right next to his. Seeing this, he gets scared, thinking that everything is very dangerous. Well, now finally the result comes. Nervously, Jungkook checks his rank and finds out that he is 10th in the school. He has achieved what he wanted to achieve. And an even bigger excitement than this is for his uncle Ho Suk, that his daughter Anya has come first. And instead of being happy about coming first, Anya is sitting worried, because she has gone ahead of Yana. How could a servant go ahead of her queen? Yana is also extremely angry. On the other side, we are shown that the chairwoman meets a writer who had written something against her. First, she tries to bring him to her side by bribing and blackmailing him. When he doesn't agree, she says, "My next offer is going to be very harsh." Well, Now Jungkook was about to enter the student council. There was just one obstacle in his way, and that was Yana's signatures. Everyone starts saying that in front of Yana, he must become a hero. Along with that, they give them another idea. When she is eating at the cafe, he brings her a glass of herbal water, exactly like what used to happen in story dramas. But she is a modern girl. How would she let that slide from her hands so easily? Instead, poor Jungkook ends up getting embarrassed and has to drink the water himself. Dongmin says to him, "What a handsome face. You're wasting it. I wish I had a face like yours. Have you ever had a girlfriend?" In fact, not just him. None of his teammates had ever had a girlfriend either. Meanwhile, Bong Su had grown extremely suspicious. She contacts the number of the school from which Jungkook had transferred, but they were fully prepared. Mayu answers the call, acting like a teacher, and says, "Please take good care of my former student." On the other side, Anya was still angry with her brother Jungkook. She tells him, "You're not stopping, are you? Why are you joining the student council?" He replies, "This is all part of my mission." He also congratulates her, saying, "You came first." But it seems she is more stressed about coming first. Yana sees the two of them talking and thinks to herself that this bothers her. How do these two know each other? Then we finally find out that Jungkook is made a member of the student council. He enters their office with his ID card. Right there was the clock he needed to search, the place from where he had to collect clues. At the same time, we are shown that Bong Su has become the advising teacher of the student council. Now it seems that because of all this, Bong Su and Jungkook will be able to get much closer. After everyone leaves, Jungkook is about to search the clock when Yana suddenly comes in from upstairs and says that she came to welcome him and that they should all go to dinner together. Meanwhile, Bong Su had sent one of her friends to the same cafe, and she had brought a camera with her. She secretly observes them, watching what kind of work they are doing. Nothing suspicious, but they had maintained a very good cover. They had also figured out that this girl was working for Bong Su. Here Mayu gets so angry that she says they should completely eliminate Bong Su. Finally, we see at dinner, Jungkook meets Yana and Anya, and this is where he realizes for the first time that Anya is not just Yana's friend, but more like her servant. She makes Anya do all her small tasks, even hands her tissue paper. This is something Jungkook cannot tolerate. He points it out once. After Yana leaves, he asks Anya, "Why do you put up with this? Don't you have any self-respect?" She replies, "This is exactly why I reached the student council. I am her servant, and I like living this way. What's your problem? Just do your job." When Yana reaches home, she finds out that her mother is already very angry with her because she came second. Her mother only likes toppers. We also learn that her mother had encouraged her not to include anyone except Jungkook in the student council. Her mother even instigates her, saying, "You should never give your dog so much freedom that it forgets who its master is," clearly referring to Anya. On the other side, that night, Jungkook goes to try to open the same clock. Ahead, he finds a message lying on the desk that says, "Hello, Agent Jungkook." Everyone becomes worried. He goes and tells this to his director. The director says, "Bring me the data of every teacher and every staff member in the school." Then, after seeing the record of just one person, he becomes completely stunned. On the other side, the chairwoman is shown telling her assistant to give the student complete freedom. Whatever he does, let him do it. No one will catch him. She is practicing shooting not on anyone else, but on the same writer who had rejected their offer last time. On the other side, Bong Su had been working overtime these days. The vice principal had asked her to sort through a large number of records, because of which she had been staying late at school. Meanwhile, after gathering some information, Jungkook finds out that the message was sent by none other than the school guard. He calls him, and the guard says, "Meet me on the school rooftop. I also have something to give you." At night, Jungkook goes to meet him. But surprisingly, before he even reaches the rooftop, a body falls from above. It was the guard. In his hand was a diary, which was actually Jungkook's father's diary. Meanwhile, while checking old records, Bong Su sees a photograph of Jungkook's father and realizes that he definitely had some connection with the school. Next, at that moment, Jungkook runs up to the rooftop. A masked man is there. They fight intensely. The man is trying to snatch the diary. It seems that this diary is the reason the guard lost his life. Then a sound is heard, and Jungkook freezes. The masked man manages to escape, but the diary remains with Jungkook. Now Jungkook is furious. He goes straight to his director. He throws out everyone who is sitting in the meeting and grabs his director by the collar, demanding, "Tell me the truth about my father." He doesn't care that the man is his boss. He learns that when his father went missing, he was on this very mission. After his father disappeared, his father's junior, Uncle Oh Soo-A, raised him. Now he is angry with him as well for never telling him the truth. When he reads his father's diary, he realizes how deeply his father had worked on this mission and how far ahead he had progressed. There was even a fourth horror story written in it, something no one in the school knew about until now. Meanwhile, Bong Su looks worried because Jungkook hasn't come to school. She feels that many secrets have now been uncovered. We also learn that the guard was actually a former agent who had quit his job and had started chasing the treasure himself. That's why he was stationed at the school, to somehow obtain the gold bars. Here we see that Jungkook had locked himself away for days, not talking to his team or Bong Su. The team even prepares Jimin as a backup by dressing him in a school uniform, but he doesn't suit the role at all. Then Jungkook arrives wearing his uniform. Everyone is surprised and happy. He says, "How can I give up on the mission my father worked so hard on?" In the next scene, after a few days off, he returns to school. Bong Su asks why he didn't come earlier. He says he was busy with something. She says, "Fine. Your demerit points will be deducted." He doesn't care at all. He goes straight to the wall clock and, following his father's instructions, collects many clues through a rhythm-based method. At the same time, we learn that someone else was also present at school that night. It was Bong Su. She knew the guard hadn't committed suicide. He was murdered. She also knew Jungkook had fought with someone. She was the one who made the noise, so the fight would stop and Jungkook's life would be saved. She confronts him, sees him taking information from the clock, and says, "You are not a student. I already know that." He tells her the truth, that he is an officer, an NIS agent. He says she now has only two options, either help him complete the mission or become a traitor by leaking his secret, which would result in 10 years of prison and her youth being destroyed. Hearing this, Bong Su, who is very confident, starts trembling at the mention of jail. Later in the next scene, Jungkook is sitting calmly with his team. They say, "Looking at your face, something clearly went wrong." He replies, "Nothing much, just that Bong Su found out about our mission." When he tells them everything, they scold him for threatening a civilian despite being an officer and tell him he could face serious punishment. They order him to apologize. The same man who was once so arrogant now goes to Bong Su and apologizes, and the previously terrified Bong Su stands there in silence. Her confidence level had now reached 100. Now she herself hands him drinks because she has realized that he is not underage. She starts thinking that if she helps him in this mission, what will she get in return? Then it occurs to her that she might even get a permanent position. Media, news reporters, everyone would be chasing her because she helped an agent achieve such a big mission. So she immediately agrees for her own benefit and tells him, "I am a good citizen. I will definitely help you." As he is leaving, he stops her and says, "Bong Su, do you know that the person who killed the guard has already found out that you were there as a witness? That means you are in danger, but don't worry, I will protect you." At that moment, he becomes so emotional that he even holds her hand. Seeing him this close, she starts blushing and says, "You're an agent, an officer. I understand that protecting us is your duty, but do you talk like this to every citizen?" At this point, a flashback is shown. The chairwoman had found out about the guard and had come to meet him. He was given the diary that belonged to Jungkook's father, but he refused to hand it over. Because of this, he became her enemy, and it is likely that she was also behind pushing him off the rooftop. In the next scene, Jungkook starts reading the fourth horror story, which is related to a piano. Two people used to play it together, but later the man cheated and killed the woman who played with him. In the end, his ghost kept wandering around. Bong Su, who comes from behind, also reads this horror story, and she screams in fear. She then helps him and tells him that this piano is located in none other than the chairwoman's room, and entering there is absolutely impossible. But she also says there is one way. She tells him he is very lucky because a dinner is going to be hosted by the chairwoman very soon. Student council members will also attend, and only then can he reach the piano. Later, it turns out that Jungkook has many demerit points, and anyone with demerit points cannot attend that dinner. At this, he shouts at Bong Su Su, asking why she cut so many of his points and accusing her of being on the other side. This is when Jungkook realizes what happens when you don't take a teacher seriously. Right then, Bong Su gets another idea. Their school is going to have a photo shoot for the new school face. If he wins the photo shoot, he will get 25 points, with 5 extra bonus points. She comes to prepare him and says, "You're already so handsome. Of course you'll win. You just need to learn a bit of modeling." Next day, on the day of the photo shoot, she takes him along. There are all kinds of boys there, very handsome, some getting makeup done, all with sky-high confidence. But our agent hero doesn't even know how to pose. So she takes him outside and teaches him how to pose, telling him to think about how important this is for his mission. While she is training him, she looks very cute. And somewhere along the way, Jungkook starts developing feelings for her. When Jungkook finally poses, everyone else is left behind. It is very clear that he is the one who will be selected. At the same time, we learn that Yana often hurts herself. There are many scars on her body, which is why she becomes very disturbed during the photo shoot. Anya takes her outside to protect her and asks, "Do you still do this? I'm asking you as a friend." This makes Yana angry. She reminds Anya of her place and says, "I'm not your friend. Remember your position. You are my servant, and you will remain a servant." Jungkook hears everything. He comes over and tells Yana to apologize. In anger, Yana storms off, and Anya starts crying. Bong Su sees everything as well. Later, she explains things to Jungkook, saying, "You are an agent. Not everything can be solved the way you want." She is a high schooler. She has different emotions right now. She is growing up. She doesn't like being commanded. She can handle her issues herself. She says a particular phrase, and upon hearing it, Jungkook is reminded of his childhood sweetheart. She used to say the same phrase while encouraging others. Back then, their names were different, so they couldn't recognize each other. When they step outside, it starts raining. From behind, her mother hands her an umbrella. The scene becomes romantic. When a bike nearly crashes into her, Jungkook saves her. The umbrella falls aside, creating a romantic moment. After all this, Bong Su blushes heavily and drinks cold water to calm herself down. Meanwhile, in Jungkook's mind, her old childhood name, Bong Su-A, keeps echoing, the name her mother used to call her. He looks at a photo of his childhood sweetheart and remembers that Bong Su once saw him picking peas and noticed him. That's when it clicks. Bong Su is his childhood Bong Su. The next day, Bong Su gets embarrassed again when Jungkook arrives at school early and finds her cleaning while dancing at the same time. He secretly watches her for a long time and is very impressed by this hidden talent. She jokes, "I wish someone else had come instead of you. They could have secretly taken my photos and made them viral, and because of that good deed, I would have gotten a permanent position." Becoming permanent is always on her mind. Later in the next scene, Bong Su asks her friend, if a boy saves a girl from a bike in the rain, stays close to her, and keeps praising her, what does that mean? Her friend crushes her hopes, saying, "Don't overthink it. He's just a good friend. That's all." On the other side, after this, the vice principal tries to cheat by declaring June the winner of the modeling contest because his father is a VIP. But Bong Su raises her voice for Jungkook, saying, "This is not a dictatorship. It's a democracy. We do voting here." Naturally, no one was more handsome and decent than Jungkook, and because of Bong Su's efforts, he is selected as the face of Bayan. Now he qualifies to attend the dinner. The team starts planning. The problem is that Jungkook doesn't know how to play the piano and also needs a partner. Who could be better than Bong Su? To convince her, their leader Oh Soo-A flatters her excessively and says, "Please agree. You are the pride of our country. Our real field agent, Bong Su." This praise is her weakness. He also falsely promises her full-time position, and she immediately agrees. They start practicing the piano together and spend a lot of time with each other. Jungkook can't get her out of his mind. Since the mission is dangerous, he also starts teaching her some fighting and self-defense. But she turns out to be even better than he expected, as if she comes from a family of wrestlers. While practicing, she gets very close to him. Jungkook becomes extremely distracted, keeps blushing, and eventually pushes her away with an excuse. On the other side, their mission plan is ready. Jimin enters the party disguised as a waiter for backup, while the rest of the team waits outside in a van. When Bong Su arrives dressed in black, Jungkook can't take his eyes off her. She looks beautiful, bringing back childhood memories. Once, Bong Su had promised to marry him and told him to propose when she came wearing a nice dress. Then they were separated. Today was that day, but he couldn't propose under these circumstances. Meanwhile, Yana tells Anya not to get too personal. When Anya shows concern for her injury, Yana says, "The dog I was feeding has started thinking she's human," and slaps her. Anya retaliates and says, "I pity you." Next, according to the plan, they turn off the lights and move toward the chairwoman's room. But backup arrives earlier than expected, and the lights turn back on. To distract the guards, Jimin removes his waiter uniform, changes clothes, and appears as a VIP parent, starting an argument and a fight. He shouts about how dangerous it was for the lights to go out during such a big event. At the same time, Mayu comes upstairs to save him. They pretend that he is a cheater who ran away, and in the middle of this act, she ends up kissing him again, something that keeps happening to Jimin. Meanwhile, the main couple reaches the upper floor. They fight several guards, and Bong Su performs impressively. Jungkook, already in love, falls even deeper seeing her abilities. They check the chairwoman's piano and find one key broken, which gives them an important hint. While leaving, Jungkook checks her computer to delete their recordings and discovers that she knows everything: his real name, his status as an agent, his designation, even his childhood name. This deeply troubles him. Later, while returning to the van, he remains distracted but doesn't tell his team because he suspects that someone inside the NIS may be working with a chairwoman. Next, at the party, Bong Su hits the jackpot. She finds a dropped VIP student card belonging to parents close to the chairwoman, who receive special protocol and provide heavy funding. Later at home, Bong Su tries to solve the riddle connected to the broken key and manages to find a clue. She gets so excited that she immediately calls Jungkook, but he doesn't answer any calls. Later, when she sees him at a store, she excitedly grabs him and tells him that she has figured out the meaning hidden behind the piano and has solved it. But even then, he doesn't seem excited at all. Seeing him so troubled, she can't leave him alone. She takes him with her and gets him a drink. He tells her that the chairwoman knows everything about him. Maybe she deliberately invited him there. He wasn't fooling her. Rather, she had made him a part of her own plan. And someone from the NIS is also secretly working with her. While returning, Jungkook calls Bong Su by her childhood name and asks her something from the past. Hearing this, Bong Su is completely shocked. She asks, "How do you know all this? Are you really that person? Why did you change your name?" He replies, "Of course, I can't use my real name in the field." Then he reveals another secret. He tells her that he is her neighbor and lives right next door. Hearing this, Bong Su becomes extremely excited, her happiness knowing no bounds. The man she liked wasn't her student at all. He was actually her childhood love. She is overjoyed and tells him that when he left school, she couldn't study properly for a long time. She says he never forgot her because she was always special to him. After that, they both return to their respective homes. The next day at school, we see Bong Su discover something else. The card she found had a website written on it. She joins a group through that site and learns that all competitions are fixed. Prices are decided in advance, and winners and topper positions are given to VIP students. Seeing this, the ground slips from beneath her feet. Yana also knows the truth that day and becomes heartbroken. She wonders if all the positions she worked so hard for were fixed. Since college and university admissions are based on these contests, it means children's futures are being destroyed. The chairwoman is truly a witch. Bong Su shares this information with Jungkook. These days, he has placed a tracker on the chairwoman to monitor where she goes and whom she meets, hoping she will eventually contact the NIS traitor. But in the middle of this, he finds out that the chairwoman has now turned against Bong Su because she learned that Bong Su accessed that URL. The chairwoman says the website has been shut down and warns that if Bong Su becomes a threat, she will eliminate her. Hearing this makes Jungkook extremely anxious. He calls Bong Su to ask where she is and learns that she is still at school working overtime. He immediately rushes to the school, worried that someone might hurt her. Meanwhile, the chairwoman is furious at June for telling Yana the truth about the competition results. She beats and tortures him in private, even drawing his blood, and then orders him to apologize. She is truly stone-hearted, with no concern for children's lives. Next, Jungkook tells Bong Su that it's dangerous and takes her home, carrying all her belongings himself. Together, they search records and even watch the event recording where they are standing together like a couple, looking beautiful. Seeing this, both of them get embarrassed and shy. When Bong Su falls asleep while working, Jungkook covers her with a blanket. When she wakes up, she places the blanket over him in return. They take care of each other. The next day, we see leader Oh Soo-A argues fiercely with Jungkook, telling him not to get involved in the cheating scandal and to focus only on their mission. But Jungkook insists that both missions are interconnected. They report this to the director, and soon a message arrives ordering them to abort the mission and leave everything behind. From this, Jungkook realizes that the chairwoman ended the mission because she knew he could expose her cheating scandal along with finding the treasure. She considers him a major threat and wants him removed. Meanwhile, that day, the chairwoman is having lunch in the cafeteria as she does once every 6 months. She calls Jungkook to sit with her. He tells her there's no need for pretenses. They both know each other. He feeds her a fake story to distract her while he searches for the treasure elsewhere. Meanwhile, Yana, after learning the full truth, feels ashamed and goes to Anya's house. Anya's mother cooks a wonderful meal for them. Yana realizes this is real life, the life Anya lives, and wishes her own mother were this kind. Before leaving, she apologizes to Anya and thanks her, calling her a true friend. At the same time, Bong Su goes to Jungkook's house next door and finds the door open. The place has been ransacked. Jungkook isn't home, but the intruder attacks Bong Su, injuring her before fleeing. When Jungkook arrives and sees her wounded, he rushes her to the hospital. He was stabbed. He breaks down in tears, blaming himself for putting her in danger. The next day, when Bong Su regains consciousness, she sees Jungkook sitting beside her. He stayed up all night caring for her. He's relieved when she wakes up. Later, he discovers the attacker was June, the math teacher, Bong Su's colleague. His DNA was found all over the house. June had also stolen Jungkook's father's diary and handed it to the chairwoman. Though June is arrested, the chairwoman's assistant arrives to save him. On the other side, Mayu and Jimin rush in to rescue June, believing he would be killed. They try to keep him alive for testimony but are captured, and their car is crushed. Their screams echo as they risk their lives for Jungkook. Just in time, Jungkook arrives, saves them, and captures the assistant, who confesses that he acted on the chairwoman's orders to rig school cheating. Then suspicion now falls heavily on leader Oh Soo-A. Jungkook calls him and lies that June and the assistant are secured in a safe house, planning to hand them to the police in the morning. He waits all night, expecting Oh Soo-A to come rescue them, but he never does. Memories of his uncle's care flood back. Though he was raised by him, Jungkook never replaced his real father in his heart. Next, early in the morning, he calls his uncle and says that he wants to apologize. The uncle replies that he already knows everything, and that is why he stayed silent for so many days, believing that once he grows up, he will understand everything on his own and straighten his path. After that, Jungkook goes directly to the chairwoman. As soon as she sees him, she scolds him, saying that students should sit properly like this, and asks whether he has no manners. At the same time, he shows her that he is going to testify against her. Along with that, he has also collected a lot of evidence against her in a pen drive. Seeing this, the chairwoman panics slightly, but then says that he has no idea about her power. After finishing the conversation, when Jungkook is about to leave, he tells her that it seems she is the one who lacks manners, because when a guest comes, one at least offers tea or water. He asks her what kind of teacher she is and what she will teach the children. After so much evidence comes out, the chairwoman is also called for investigation. Finally, Bong Su feels a lot of relief, and Jungkook praises her, saying that her struggle for truth brought her very close to death. At the same time, it is revealed that one of the NIS members is actually the director, who is colluding with the chairwoman. He warns her to be careful, otherwise he will step aside and let her take all the blame. But she laughs like a madwoman and says that she was not playing childish games. She says that if she goes down, she will take him down with her because she is a crazy woman. On the other side, now the school's popularity is also at risk, and many negative rumors are spreading. Because of this, The students are very upset. The school has only one chance left to survive. Officials from the education ministry are going to visit, so everyone starts preparing. If they get impressed, the school might be saved. Bong Su's entire class gathers and helps clean the school, and Jungkook also joins them. The day becomes very memorable, and they even take a group selfie. When the VIPs arrive, including board members, they find out that the chairwoman had already been released. She enters grandly and immediately removes Jungkook's badge. She tells him to stop playing spy games, returns the tracker he had placed on her, and mocks him. She warns him never to come in her way again, saying that she used him as much as she wanted and that he is nothing but a tissue paper that she throws away. Because of this, all the students become very upset as Jungkook is suddenly dismissed. As he packs his bag and leaves, everyone watches him emotionally. Somewhere deep inside, Jungkook also liked and enjoyed this time when he became a high schooler again. He says goodbye and leaves. But the troubles are not over yet. On the other side, allegations are also placed against Jungkook's team. They are checked, and he is falsely accused of taking a bribe. Money had been deliberately planted in his belongings. After this, the chairwoman threatens him, saying this is not her limit, and if he does not stop, her next target will be Bong Su. Next, he goes to meet Bong Su, completely worried. Bong Su tells him not to worry about her at all. She says she has grown up and knows how to protect herself. She wants to be his strength, not his weakness. She also tells him to use the clues in the diary to reach the treasure. There is one final riddle that they have still not been able to solve, and everyone sits together brainstorming over it. Since they have already been removed from duty, Jungkook cannot enter the school anymore. Here, Bong Su helps him. She discovers that there is a dummy of the traitor and that there may be some secret hidden inside it. When she doesn't understand anything, she grabs the dummy by its neck and questions it. Suddenly, the dummy turns, revealing a secret passage underneath. At that moment, Jungkook arrives disguised as a delivery person wearing a helmet. The principal becomes suspicious, but before he can remove the helmet, Bong Su helps Jungkook escape. However, the chairwoman finds out that Jungkook has entered the school again. She says that this was just a trailer and the real movie is yet to come. She launches a scandal against Bong Su by releasing photos of Bong Su and Jungkook together, claiming that Bong Su is dating a student and attacking her character. Everyone in the school starts talking badly about her, calling her a teacher who is dating a minor. Bong Su becomes deeply ashamed and doesn't know how to handle the situation. She cannot reveal that Jungkook is not a child but an agent, because that would expose the mission. At that moment, Jungkook himself enters and introduces himself. He says that he is not a minor and shows his ID proving he is 30 years old. He openly admits that he is dating his teacher because he loves her. He looks so charming that the scandal turns into a romantic love story. When asked why he came to school, he dramatically narrates a sad story, saying that he was unruly as a child and could not complete high school, so he re-enrolled to fulfill his dream of becoming an educated adult. It is also revealed that Yana helped him with the preparation and entry using her mother's documents. Later, it is revealed that Bong Su's fighting skills come from her mother, who once ran a gangster base alongside her restaurant. Although she had already retired from that place, but even now, to help them, she takes them there to her goons and tells them, "These people will help you." They wanted to raid the school and take out the gold as soon as possible because they had already found out that there was a secret passage beneath the traitor's statue. Well, by now the chairwoman had also arrived there, but even then they block her path. After that, Jungkook goes inside. He reaches the basement. He thought there would be a huge treasure there, but he doesn't find any treasure. Instead, he finds a skeleton there. That skeleton was wearing the same watch that he had gifted to his dad. It was his father's dead body. Seeing this, all his old wounds are reopened. After that, he arranges his father's funeral. He looks extremely sad during it. He had hoped that his father would still be alive, but that hope is now completely shattered. Only 2 or 3 of his friends attend the funeral. Bong Su also comes to give him strength. The funeral feels completely empty, but then suddenly many people arrive. They are Jungkook's classmates from Bayan school. All of them had already become his friends, and they came to support him in this moment of grief. Seeing this, Jungkook feels very happy. During this mission, he had made many friends who turned out to be his true friends. Well, now Jungkook already knew that his father had died in that school. So, who was behind his death? That was something he still had to find out. On the other side, The chairwoman was going mad with anger. Her assistant even tells her to stop and calm down, but she refuses. She wants revenge. She says that the gold belongs to her and only her. She is panicking, wondering where the gold went. Meanwhile, Jungkook is going somewhere, and before leaving, he meets Bong Su. It is a very emotional meeting. He tells her to take care of herself and then leaves after saying goodbye. The next morning, Bong Su tells his friends about this. Suddenly, Anya realizes that he might do something reckless. What if he confronts the director by pointing a gun at him and asks what happened to his dad? Thinking this, all of them rush there. And indeed, that is exactly what happens. The place where the director is in a meeting, Jungkook reaches there. In the end, he is smart enough to reach the top easily. He actually points a gun at the director and asks him what happened to his dad. But in the end, he deliberately allows himself to be caught by the director's team. When they are taking him away, his own teammates arrive to save Jungkook, and a funny fight breaks out among everyone. In that chaos, Bong Su jumps over people and reaches her hero. It feels like the real hero is actually Bong Su. She saves Jungkook and escapes with him. During all this, she even uses a fire extinguisher, after which both of them turn completely white. To help them escape, his 3 teammates become scapegoats. They fight fiercely while standing together. During the fight, their hair even gets burned. It feels like they might go completely bald if they get into 1 or 2 more fights like this. Now, Jungkook tells them why they came there at all. He says everything was according to plan. He wasn't there to kill anyone. He transferred all the data from the director's phone to his own phone and planted a bug on it. Actually, all this was just to distract him. The real target was his phone. After that, he listens to everything through that phone. He becomes certain that the director went to meet the chairwoman. He now even has the recordings, but he didn't expect to hear something so clearly that the director tells the chairwoman that she was the one who shot his dad, and now Jungkook is desperate for revenge. Then a flashback is shown. When Jungkook's father found out everything, the director was already colluding with the chairwoman. He pulls out a gun to stop his father, but he doesn't fire. Instead, the chairwoman snatches the gun from his hand and angrily shoots Jungkook's father dead. She thought they had already gotten the treasure, but later they searched everywhere. The treasure had already been transferred by his father to a safe place. After that, he hid in the basement. No one knew about that basement, and his body remained there all along. Next, Jungkook calls the director and goes to meet him at a place. But it turns out to be a trap. The director is already killed, and the police are called, framing Jungkook for murder. At that time, his team first reaches his house and safely secures all the evidence he had collected. That's when Jungkook realizes the true power of the chairwoman. She even appears in front of him and says, "I told you to stay away. I'll crush you." Jungkook replies that he promises he will bring her down. While being transferred to another location, he attacks the team and manages to escape, but he is badly injured. He calls Bong Su from a telephone booth, and she reaches there with his team and takes care of him. They stay in a hotel and hold a meeting, collecting all the evidence. In the end, even there, the chairwoman's men arrive, but his team provides backup and distracts them while Bong Su and Jungkook escape through the back route. Jungkook always cares deeply for Bong Su, constantly making sure she doesn't get hurt. After gathering all the evidence, he finally goes to the police station and surrenders himself, playing the recording that proves the chairwoman was working with the director and was behind the murder. Meanwhile, the chairwoman tries to expel Bong Su from the school, but all the students protest against it, especially Yana's class. They say they won't leave until Bong Su is made permanent because she has done nothing wrong. But the chairwoman behaves like a dictator, giving speeches and laughing like a madwoman while covering her ears. She believes only what she wants will happen. Next, the students stay there until night, and she evacuates Anya and then pours gasoline on the students. They are terrified. They never imagined she could go this far. She comes with a lighter and calls them cockroaches, threatening to burn them alive. At that moment, Jungkook arrives, seeing how bad the situation is, and puts his gun down. Meanwhile, Yana is informed and rushes back, worried her daughter might get burned. For the first time, the chairwoman feels things are out of control and tries to kill herself, but Jungkook stops her and even catches the falling lighter, saving all the students' lives. After everything, Jungkook collapses due to head injuries and loses consciousness. When he wakes up, he is fine, but he keeps seeing his dad in his dreams. He is proven innocent and reinstated to his position, with a promotion coming soon because he saved so many students. Next, during the investigation, The chairwoman's assistant tries to take all the blame, but Jungkook convinces him to tell the truth in court. When he does, the chairwoman panics. She thought she had raised a loyal dog, but realizes he was a human with a conscience. Finally, the chairwoman is sentenced to life imprisonment. Yana visits her and says she hopes she never becomes like her. Bong Su is finally made permanent. Later, Jungkook visits the school to meet the students. At first, they keep their distance because they now know he's a high-ranking police officer, but as he leaves, they throw paper planes from the windows, thanking him and telling him how proud they are of him. Suddenly, Jungkook realizes where the treasure is. His dad loved stars, and they used to watch them together. His dad once said he had hidden a star in the house. Remembering this, Jungkook finds a star on the floor under furniture, and beneath it is a secret compartment filled with gold bars. His dad had hidden the treasure at home all along. He smiles and says, "Mission complete." Years later, Anya wants to join the NIS like her father and brother. Yana becomes a painter, and Sayuk becomes the NIS director. Mayu and Jimin become a couple. Jungkook is about to become an uncle. Finally, the long-awaited moment arrives. Jungkook takes Bong Su to see the stars, proposes to her, puts a ring on her finger, and then they kiss. And with that, the drama ends happily.